welcome back to another episode of Fake Nerds Watch, where we're talking about The Dark Crystal.
Another one.
Age of Netflix's Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance.
Disney's Marvels.
Stop it. Yeah,
Dark Crystal,
exactly.
Age of Resistance.
Stop it.
I am Sparkz WITTY, because last time we never said our names.
No, we didn't.
This is Ben Magnet, and this is Ryan ELEOPOULOS.
I'm that guy. What's up?
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about episode 3, What Was Sundered and Undone, and episode 4, All That I Know Is Fire.
You have a great memory, my man.
I think I might have butchered episode 4.
You got it.
The first thing I remember is fire.
There you go.
Yeah.
Still, you were saying earlier, these episode names are dope.
They are.
They're
I
metal.
like these names
They're
a lot.
very
That's why I
metal.
insist on saying them. I'm like, these are really good names.
So even when I was watching episode 3 with my girlfriend, I was like, man, this thing is just like up to 11 on the whole, just on everything.
Yeah.
Just on everything.
Yeah. Since we're talking like episode titles, one of my favorite things that I brought to Ryan is like, I think it's episode 4 where the opening titles are like, it's moved through the torch, and so the text is on fire for a moment.
Noticed
I'm like,
that.
man, they care.
They do. They really do.
They really care in every moment. Okay.
It's all like the last show I can think of doing it is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, not to put a direct comparison with fantasy stuff, but like throughout seasons it changed. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, so diving right into episode 3, let's pick up with Brea's arc.
Okay.
Brea is where we more or less left off last time. She is being sent to the Order of Lesser Services because she stole back from the Queen and all this stuff. And that's the Lesser Services is...
And also, she created what is called a diplomatic incident between that one Gelfling because she erased his memory.
Right. Oh, that's right.
And the girl who's voiced by Natalie Dormer, aka Marjorie Tyrell, if you know Game of Thrones.
A lot of Game of Thrones going to be.
A lot of Game of Thrones people. And I'm sorry if we butcher the names. There's a lot of fantasy names.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fantasy
A
names.
lot of fantasy names.
Kadir, is that the guy who got brainwashed?
I think so.
Kadir?
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard. Yeah.
Sometimes I only know by actor.
For her punishment, and even though she's trying to get the brightest jewel in her mother's chamber back to Natalie Dormer's character so that she could figure out the answers to what she's looking for, she is like, nope, Order of Lesser Service, have fun, and their first order of business is to clean up some podlings who don't want to get clean.
Scrubbing some pod feet. Now, I thought, when I hear the lesser... What is it? The lesser...
Order of Lesser Service.
I think it's going to be way more severe, something like the Night's Watch from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But the first thing they do is just clean a bunch of feet, and I'm like, I guess it could be worse.
I guess the horrible part about it is you do all this work and the podlings seem to get immediately dirty again.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's like Prometheus.
Which is just like horrifying.
Yeah.
Was it Prometheus or some other god?
Isn't it the guy about the Prometheus gets strung up and eaten alive every day?
His
body's regenerate.
That's Prometheus. I was thinking about another guy who has
You're
to
thinking about the guy who pushes the boulder up the hill.
that guy. That guy.
Anyways. So Brea hates it.
Yeah.
And she has this silly bell hat on.
That she has to wear to show that she's part of the Order of Lesser
Every
Service.
time she bounces around, it's
ding, ding, ding.
Super annoying.
So she runs off after a podling.
Also very cute. Lots of little cute podlings just being dirty, being cute. I'm like, like they're cleaning feet, but it's kind of cute.
Yeah. Also, real quick, like these episodes jump around amongst these characters so much, which is great.
Yes.
I can't possibly keep track of the order, so we're just gonna follow the through line of character by character.
Yeah.
Because we more or less have 4 main stories we follow, which is Deet and Rianne and Brea and the Skeksis.
Yes.
That's really it. And then kind of in this episode, Agra.
I was going to say she shows up now and then.
She does.
So that's how we're going to do this. So Brea...
Making it easy for us, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Brea, she chases out a podling who runs away, and then... and that podling, she's like, look, I'm just gonna beat it, and let's just not rat on each other. And that podling's like, cool.
You go your way, I go my way.
He's doing
the happiest creature I've ever seen to just be able to roll in dirt.
He's doing a dirt angel. He's like, yay!
A snow angel,
The puppeteering animation on the podlings is exceptionally cool.
Yeah. We really have to watch that.
Sure.
We have to watch that making of once we're done.
We will,
absolutely.
No, my girlfriend started watching it, and I had to stop watching it because there were spoilers.
Yeah. That's right. Appreciate all the comments on our last video.
Yes.
Super helpful information. We'll put out that correction that like we were talking about. Oh, we're pretty sure that Benedict Wong's character is the guy who becomes the Emperor in the film, and we were corrected. No, that's inaccurate.
Yeah.
Titles of Skeksis change around. Apparently, we'll learn more about it as we go through the show, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Brea takes off, and immediately is in the like when we return to her. When we're with her again, she is immediately seemingly being pursued. By her sister Tevra.
Yes.
Who's on a wicked cool ass creature's back.
Those we've seen those creatures before, both in the film and in the original.
Yeah, the long walker
film.
Things,
and also later, and I want to say in episode 1 or 2, we saw those. But those creatures. Yeah,
I've seen them in promo art, but like this was our first like really good look at spending some time with them.
They are so rad.
They look like this creature that I made out of clay once for like a create an undersea animal project. And it's a cool design. I really enjoy it.
Reminds me of a weird shoe puff from Final Fantasy X. If you know what that is, cool. You get a gold star.
So this part irritated me a bunch. I was telling Ryan as we were watching it because Brea's trying to hide from Tevra, and she's got that jingly hat on. So every time she's moving around, it's just jingle, 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 and I'm like, she tosses it after Tevra sees her.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you even trying to hide right now? Your whole head is jingling. Like,
if you think about it, the hat is a good way. So the like that one. Also, one thing I want to say, I love the names of things. Like instead of hey, we're cleaning the pollens, it's the detergening.
Oh yeah, okay.
I love how they have different names for that. It's like we have the darkening, the detergening,
everything's an ing in this world.
Yeah. Everything is different, but the second they say it, you know what it is, and I really dig it. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, side rant. So yeah, Tevra finds her, and then finally Brienne just says, "Screw this hat, I hate it."
Brea,
thank you.
Yeah. So Brea then throws the hat off, and I was like, who are you kidding anyway? So she thinks that Tevra's there to catch her. Tevra's actually been sent by the queen
to get Rian.
Not the queen, like what's the
Madra.
The Madra, thank you.
Yeah.
Has been sent by her to go apprehend Rian.
Yeah.
Because Rian's girlfriend was from their clan.
Yep.
And they believe that Rian murdered her, so therefore Rian must face their justice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where Tevra's off to, and she tells Brea all about that, and then Brea's like, cool, I'm gonna go do this thing, because I have a vision. Oh, you get visions now? Yeah, this symbol. Bad times to come, the darkening, basically. So she's Brea and Tevra go their separate ways because Tevra has a lot of belief in Brea. Mm-hmm. It's also around this time kind of intermixed, like this isn't really following any of those main characters we talked about, but we kind of get the idea of like her other sister who's wants to be very responsible and wants to clearly become the next
she is in line to be the queen / Madra for our clan. And also one thing I want to correct myself on, because I thought that Harar was the capital for all the Gelflings.
No,
it's just that one clan, and all the other clans are kind of separate, which we'll find out later when we get to Deet and Hup, that the clans, they don't like each other.
Oh, you mean they're racist?
Yeah, they're racist
allegories.
Yeah. Oh, they are such pricks. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
so I was wrong, my bad.
So the Madra does not like Saladon as much as Brea.
Yes.
Brea's the favorite. And so she's super disappointed, and then like Saladon gives her a very like, responsible, we have to do this to kind of shake her out of it. And she's like, oh yeah, good job. You're going to be a good Madra, but fix your wings.
Which kind of was a big bummer because they had this great moment, and then Celadon was even talking to Tevra earlier about like how she's always letting Brea do all this stuff, and here I am going to meetings, going to this, doing all the grunt work that no one wants to do, yet I get the short end of the stick.
I suspect we'll never see Brea see her mom again.
Probably not.
I highly suspect it. I think that very much the arc is supposed to kind of lend this credence. I think that what might even happen is that Saladon blames Brea in a sense for like what comes later, because we know all the Gelflings eventually have to bite it. I assume that Saladon will go fairly early because I think Brea's going to never have a reconciliation moment. The last time she sees her mom, she sees her as part of corruption.
Yeah.
Part of what the Skeksis are doing, part of a bad system. And I don't think Brea's ever going to get shaken out of that while her mom is alive.
Yes.
Right.
I highly believe that's part of her arc going forward is having to carry that weight.
I forget if it's this episode or next episode, but we do see like the Skeksis are motioning their plan to kill a bunch of people.
Yes.
So, like, that's gonna happen soon.
I want to say it's episode 4.
Yeah.
In episode... I think you're right. I don't know exactly which episode off the top of my head because we watched them together, but I think I just remember that they say 50, which at first sounded like a small number, but they say yes, 50 from each clan, which amounts to about 350 gelflings that they want to kill.
And you can guarantee some people are probably going to volunteer for the good service.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
no,
right. Woof. Anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah,
So Brea, meanwhile, that's how her family is about it.
She flies away, sneaks into her mom's chamber, grabs the brightest jewel.
Has to dramatically climb up the library tower in order to fly up into her mom's home.
Which was pretty cool because the librarian, Toby Jones, was like, "What's going on? What are you here for?"
It was a cool shot.
Oh, yeah.
I'll admit it was a cool shot. It was very dramatic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait. Do they all have to, like, jump off high places to fly? Which is also established later in this episode that, no, they don't.
They can just jump up,
They can just fly.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah.
She was feeling it.
Yeah, she was. She was in the moment.
Yeah.
And she finds the brightest jewel.
Which looks...
very obviously.
Which is a... oh, man.
Unimoth?
Wiki.
Unimoth?
Yeah, there is a Unimoth. I had it right here. Yeah, it was a moth. It was a really cool looking moth chrysalis.
Right, and she takes that to Natalie Dormer's character.
Yeah.
And she is now the title that Eddie Izzard's was before.
I think that's the one name I remember is like Kadir.
Yeah, Kadir. She's taken that over the title. And Brea's like, whoa, really? And she's like, well, really me?
You did this.
I deserve this. Anyway, she tells her that, essentially how the jewel is going to lead her to her answers, so she follows the moth back.
Well, first of all, it's a crystal, and then it turns out it's like a...
It's a chrysalis.
It's a chrysalis for a
cocoon.
Yeah. Brea thinks that it's payment.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the answer, and it's like, no, this is your answer, dummy.
Ask it what you want, and then she speaks like, I want my answers.
She sings, Natalie Dormer sings a song to it.
Oh,
yeah. To activate it, which was really sweet, and I liked it. And then it blossoms and then flies away, and Brea follows it right back to where she took it from.
Yep.
And
right back to the throne room.
It forms right back onto the throne.
That's really cool.
And which is really neat and lowers these stairs that drop down below. And
that's actually
the
end of episode 3.
Yeah.
But that's the end of Brea's story for this. And then going back to the beginning of episode 3, Rianne is
I feel bad for Rianne.
Yeah.
Like, he is like, I think when we first see him, he's just walking back. He's just walking down just a path. He sees a pair of gelfling parents with their young baby.
Yep.
And they're trying to fix the wagon. So
Rianne,
being the good person that he is, helps them. And the wife is like, "Ooh, he's from the palace. He might be the one word they're looking for." And the husband's like, relax, he's fine. He helped us out. They start talking. It's revealed that he's like, "Oh yeah, I just ran for the palace." They connect the dots, and they're instantly like, no, screw this guy.
Actually, so the mom is suspicious at that point, but the dad is like, he's a good person. He just helped us.
He just gave us aid.
And he's like, then they find out, they ask him if his name is Rianne. And then they tell him, they're saying this about you.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not true. It's the Skeksis. And it's like, that's heresy. And
he's
like, okay. So he's on his way to is back to his Madra for his clan in Stonewood.
In the wood.
And he does make his way there. We actually come upon him in the middle of Deet's story. I think we can actually cover what happened with Deet up to that point.
Yeah. Deet and Hup,
Hup,
walking through the... First, they meet this, when Deet and Hup are walking through the forest, Deet still has her blindfold on, and she's talking to Hup, and Hup is like, hey, I don't think they're going to like you very much. And
all the clans hate each other.
Yeah,
he implies or at least don't trust each other.
Yeah, they don't trust each other. And then they come across this really cool beast called Gobbles.
Which, the important thing is that, real quick before that, Deet's whole thing establishes that not only is she unaware that the clans distrust each other,
right?
Her clan has no ill feelings towards any others.
Right.
Like that's not a part of who they are. But they're considered both literally and metaphorically the lowest.
Yeah, because they live underground.
Right.
Because her Deet's clan, which they said a bunch, I completely forgot how to pronounce it. Because her clan lives underground, all the other the Grottles, that's what they are. The Grottle clan, because they all live underground, every other Gelfling clan is like, psh, they're on the dirt. Who cares about those guys?
Right, yeah.
Screw them.
So they treat them like dirt.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah. But she has one of my favorite bits, which is where Hupp is saying that, and she's like, everybody can change. It can be hard, but it takes a lot of time and work. Yeah. And this is when she has taken off her blindfold and she adjusts to the light.
She's like, yeah, you just need to adapt.
Which was cool.
Very cool.
And they come upon the gobblers, like you said.
Yeah. The gobblers are rad, and they also are creepy, and I hate them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really cool.
They're like these little suction cup things.
I describe them as piranha leeches in quicksand.
Yeah.
Quicksand piranhas.
It's like a quicksand piranha and leeches all had a baby.
I love it.
I do like it a lot.
I like the idea. I like the idea. I just hate the feeling.
I was also happy that it was a smoking gun, but it wasn't a smoking gun for episode 3.
Right.
It was a smoking gun for episode 4.
Yeah. Because Deet almost steps into the gobblers.
Because it reached just up to that point where I kind of forgot about them, and then they were there again, and I'm like, oh yeah, those things.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
That's gonna pay off in episode 4.
Mm. So Deet and Hupp come upon that little like outward tavern.
Yeah, in Stone in the Wood.
Stonewood,
Stone in the Wood, whatever.
It's they say Stone in the Wood.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a shorthand of Stonewood.
Yeah. And Hupp doesn't want to engage with the other Gelflings at all.
He just wants to drink.
While Deet is trying to be very friendly, and they're immediately rude and push her and are super racist, and it pisses off Hupp.
Yep.
And so Hupp attacks them, and because Hupp attacks them, he gets arrested. Yeah. So Deet has to go see the Madra to try and plead for Hupp's case.
Yep.
And this is where, while she's trying to get in line, they won't let her through because she's not of their clan. Yeah. Meanwhile, Rianne gets to walk.
Rianne just walks right in like it's nothing.
And she sees that.
Well, he tells him like, hey, Madra's gonna want to see me because
I'm the murder man.
Everyone knows like shit's going down.
People have heard.
Yeah.
He knows the Madra's heard.
Yeah.
Madra.
And this is where he comes in and he explains his story. And he says, you have to... I need you to trust me. You're my Madra. I need you to dream fast with me, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The Skeksis can't be trusted.
And again, they're like, your mind's poison. Let's not do this.
And she's like, you're right. Your son is not well.
Oh,
and then
the
dad emerges, and it's like, no,
it's
Daddy.
And then there's this really cool escape scene where he takes a sword, cuts the chandelier, or like the light source. It was kind of like a chandelier. I don't know what it is exactly. And these bugs escape. There's chaos everywhere. Rianne gets away. Deet follows Rianne. He's like, hey, maybe you can help me out. And Rianne's like, no.
You're getting a little ahead.
Okay. But Rianne gets away.
Rianne gets away. He pretty handily gets out of the situation. The dad is very much conflicted about the way that he's talking about it. He's like, he doesn't seem out of his wits.
Yeah. Right.
It's very clear. And I appreciate that they didn't, make the dad say that to anybody. It was just very clear in the way he looked after him that he's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Something's up. Something feels a little weird.
It's like, things feel iffy. I don't like this.
To the point where, I'm going to say it now because I might forget by the time we get there. When we do get to the point where the dad dream fast amongst the others, I almost wish it had been a private moment where the dad's like, maybe I lose my mind, maybe I don't, but I gotta take faith in you, and maybe I'm gonna go crazy, maybe I'm not. But I still like the way it all.
I still like the way it goes.
Yeah, I do too. I just the power of that moment where it's like, okay, maybe I go crazy.
Yeah.
For you, son.
Which he kind of does do in a way, but it's a little more impacted. So Rianne disappears into the woods, and he's trying to start a fire, and this is where Deet comes upon him. So we're kind of merging those two characters, which is cool. And before that, Deet has been wandering, troubled about how to get Hupp out. and what she can do. And she comes upon, the reason I wanted to stop you before you went too far is because she comes upon this really cool creature that comes out of the tree that she feeds the blue plant from her home to.
I forgot about that. That was a really cool moment.
And
like the rock, is it the rock monster?
It's like it's a tree.
It's all the different like things inside the tree. Like they look like little Venus flytraps, kind of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they all come out, and then she realizes they're all mouths.
That's
from one
right.
organism.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking of him. Okay.
And it's just like more of this little creature stuff that just fleshes out this world that's so cool, especially because it's all puppeteering and all this, and it looks great. This also establishes where Deet has this blue food with her still, because that's going to come into play later.
Yeah.
And she comes across Rianne, and her and Rianne kind of have a little powwow, and she talks about how she has to help her friend Hup, and it's very clear that Rianne is like happy to have a friend.
Yeah.
But Deet gets the idea of how to free Hup while she's there, so she takes off and leaves Rianne by himself.
You're right.
And I believe that is where we left Rianne in that episode.
Yeah, I want to say that's where we left Rianne.
I'm pretty confident of that.
Yeah.
We'll pick up with him in episode 4. So meanwhile, Deet does nope. No, Deet doesn't get to Hup in episode 4 either. So meanwhile, the Skeksis.
Skeksis time. Oh.
Meanwhile, Agura has made her way to the home of the Skeksis.
To the Crystal Castle.
Where just before she'd arrived, we saw the Chamberlain give the scientist some servants.
With big hands.
Whose mouths were stitched shut.
That's rough.
Oh, yeah, that's messed up. And
so
also,
that they can't say any secrets. And he's like, are we even? Yeah.
Every time...
let's forget everything that ever happened. Let's just go back to...
But then he's like... And also we see the scientist like... He's like, my eye has never been better!
Oh, he's got his crazy...
He's got his robot eye.
Mad Eye Moody eye.
He's fixing it up.
Also...
And he's working on the machine, the general.
Chamberlain goes to Rianne's friend who was captured.
Yeah.
And he shows him the eye peeper, and he's like, "This is an eye peep," and he's telling him like all the horrible things.
That was a great scene.
And
when he comes up and he's like, "No talk, listen."
Yeah, and he's showing him what the eye peeper, what happened to the scientist and the Gelflings whose name I forget, Rianne's best friend. He's still trapped there. He's like, "Well, are you gonna use him?" He's like, "No, this is for Skeksis. But if Skeksis use this to other Skeksis, imagine what they do to Gelfling who don't talk." Mm-hmm. It's like, oh shit. I mean, of course, the Chamberlain, he has that high-pitched voice, but it was still very menacing and very creepy. And that was just so good a scene. The whole, torture scene, or the torture scene. But then later, when Agura shows up, when she shows up, and all the Skeksis are taking a freaking bath.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Not all of them, but most of them. But a few.
But doesn't she walk in
we very clearly don't see the general, and we don't see the Chamberlain or the scientist.
Yeah,
there.
But we see the Scroll Master. We see the Scroll Master's lady he was with. We see the Emperor.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think the general might have been in the back of the room.
Yeah, but we see a bunch of Skeksis.
Yeah,
and Agura's like, "What the damn hell?
You guys just chilling while the world goes to hell? You're just chilling, taking baths."
And then the Emperor's like, "Oh, we gave you an opportunity to see the universe. You saw plans." She's like,
there's a moment of them being intimidated.
Yeah.
When she walks in the room, they're a little put off and they're a little threatened.
Yeah.
Even the Emperor's caught aback.
Yeah.
But as the scene goes on, they see her as this withered and weakened thing.
Yeah. Because she can't hear the Song of Thra anymore.
So they have power over her, and so the Emperor says so. Like, once upon a time you were, but now we are the people who take care of the crystal. We decide the fate of Thra.
Yeah.
We are Thra, not Agura. And they send Agura away with some Gelfling guards. Mm-hmm. And the Gelfling guards have heard tales of Agura, and so they're easily tricked into thinking that she's far more powerful than Agura actually is. And so she's like, good lord, and just walks away from them very casually because they're so bad at what they do.
I love the scene where she finds the crystal. She finds the crystal of truth, and she immediately knows
something's wrong.
Oh, she done effed up.
Yeah.
She goes to it. She's like, what did it do? What did they do to you? I was up. She immediately recognizes that she was a fool. She was blinded by seeing the cosmos, and she's talking to the crystals like, how do I fix you? And the crystal talks back to her, is like, oh yeah, I'm you, but from back then.
Oh god, yeah.
This is how to fix me.
Right.
Or I'm you before you took a big old nap.
Yeah. So you need to listen to the Song of Thra. How?
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's essentially where that...
Skeksis are... Skeksi's gonna Skeksy.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep messing me up.
Yeah.
You gotta... Figures it out, girl. Shoo.
Yeah. And that's, I think, everything in episode 3.
Yeah, because episode 3 ends with
Brea, which
going
we started
we started with
going
Brea.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Which...
I love secret compartments.
I love that scene.
Episode 3 was a whole lot of place setting.
Yeah.
But and you could kind of feel it like it was putting people on certain paths. Like it was cool to see Deet and Rianne cross paths and those stories start to merge, even through, not directly, but Brea and Tevra on a path to meet Rianne. Like you can feel where all these things are heading into converging. And definitely having Aughra, but it was a lot of... It's not an exposition episode, but it's close.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What I was thinking of another scene, but that happens in episode 4.
Right. So let's jump right into episode 4. We'll pick up with Brea again because that's exactly where the episode starts.
Yes.
Brea has gone down into this cavern
that is
underneath the throne.
I'm sorry, Sparkz, but that's such a cool title. The first thing I remember is fire. Good lord. These writers know what the heck they're doing.
And she's trying to find the pattern of this puzzle.
You know what this reminded me of, Ben? There's a Breath of the Wild puzzle that you have to put together a bunch of circles, like about the civilizations, and I'm like, holy shit, did this guy's play Breath of the Wild? Because this is exactly what this reminds me of.
It could.
I love it.
It's very much
cool.
a video game puzzle.
Oh yeah, there's this really great inscription above the door that Brea. I almost said Rhea. Brea.
It's okay, Ben.
Brea, got it. She has this the stone, and she goes in and there's the inscription on top, and she's trying to figure it out. So she's touching the ones, and you think it's one of those fancy puzzles of touch in order, and then the puzzle's gonna figure itself out. So she gets the sound. There's something with the sound of Throd, and the room's vibrating. Really cool, by the way.
Right.
And she doesn't get the puzzle right. So
she does for 2.
She does for 2, and then
messes up at the third one. Yeah.
But since we're sticking with Brea for a while, right?
Yeah.
But it's revealed that as she's in there, it feels like she's in there for a few hours. She has her notebook with her, and as she's talking to herself, she's flipping through it. It turns out that the puzzle starts itself over with different combinations. So she takes this stone, and every time she may have started the first 2 times, but it didn't work. So she's like, but yeah, the Goddles crest started twice, was first in a row. It doesn't make any sense. And she's constantly trying to think, blah, 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 blah.
Well, isn't the puzzle supposed to be name, put them in order of importance or something?
That's what it was.
But then, the clans.
But then she realizes, wait, it's all a lie. All Gelfling are the same.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole thing, because this inscription, which I can't remember, I can't bring it in.
Well, it was also first her thinking of the
order of the Gelfling.
The Gretels being
last,
the lower, and she's like, why would they be? Unless all Gelfling aren't... No Gelfling is lower. And
they're all the same.
Yeah.
Thraw!
Yeah, essentially. And then all the stones turn on. This big rock golem shows up.
Who looks awesome.
He does. He has... And I have
Lore?
Lore
Lore's the
rad.
best.
Lore's rad. Not just because he's this giant rock golem, which is cool. He also has a recording in stone, vinyl needle style, on his arm, and that's how he's able to talk.
He talks with vinyl. It's awesome, guys.
It is great.
It's super imaginative.
It is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I want to say Lore shows up, and then Celadon figures or a guard.
Well, a guard walks into the room.
He's
like, why is this?
The guard and Saldana.
Okay.
Celadon.
Yeah, Celadon. And they walk in, and Lore has been trying to guide Brea to the Circle of Suns.
Yeah.
And now Saladon is
Celadon.
It sounds like salad.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Ryan had to actually head out while we were in the middle of recording this, so we will just chug along. And I have a couple of his thoughts because I watched it with him, so I know some things. But anyway, we're pretty much done with Brea for this episode.
Because Brea gets caught by Celadon, and then that's kind of it for her this episode.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the other thing that happened in the beginning, because we were just following her plot, is Deet freed Hup
in the badass way, in the most badass way possible.
Yeah.
And she actually looked really freaky.
No, yeah, it was really
She
cool.
looked scary.
It was a good effect.
Oh, it was a great effect.
Yeah. So she eats the blue plant, which gives her a blue face.
Yeah.
And she flies around and takes out all the lights, so all the guards freak out, and then she's able to free Hup. Hup, who had been pissing off the guards
Because he was singing
by
this
singing
song.
very loudly, and they're like, "Shut up!" And then he sings louder.
Yeah.
They're not really guards; they're a cleanup crew for
Yeah,
the chandeliers that Rian took down earlier that day.
They're just like, they're already grumpy, like, oh, we have to do this stupid work. And Hup's singing there, they're like, oi, shut up. And he's just like, ah! Singing louder, just like, ah, F you!
Yeah. So that's kind of all of Deet as well, I believe, for this episode. I don't believe she comes up again because we got a lot of other stuff happening with the Skeksis and Rian.
I want to say Deet does. She shows up later with Rian and his dad.
Oh, like at the very end.
At the very
right,
end.
Yeah, at the very end. Okay, yeah, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
That's the very end.
There's a lot of stuff.
Outside of that, she's barely even there. Like
in this episode, she's not here a lot. We focused a lot on Brea, which we already did. We're also going to focus a lot on the Skeksis, and we're going to Skeksis, Aughra, and then finally Rian.
Let's talk Aughra first.
Aughra, yes.
So Aughra is walking back from the Skeksis' home, and she's being led all of a sudden by an arrow. And she's like, the archer. Very well, I will follow. And the Uva, the archer, keeps sending out arrows to attract her places. She's like, enough. And then he sends more, and then it's like, all right, a little longer.
Because I love how the archer is just like shooting arrows to guide Aughra, but at the same, I'm watching this, I'm like, man, this dude must have like a bunch of arrows, because this is a waste of arrows to get one arrow would have been fine, but just like, hey, follow the arrows is like, no, I would have been like, you don't need to shoot that many arrows, my dude. I get you're a crack shot with a bow and arrow. You don't need to shoot that many.
Right. So Aughra does eventually end up meeting with the archer up atop a mountain.
He's also. This is the first time we see. I
was going to say that this was our first mystic in the show. So we finally see a mystic, and he explains that Aughra can no longer hear the song of Thra
because she was exploring the universe too much,
and so she has to find her own way. And she's like, "How do I do that?" And he's like, "Figure it out."
The way he does it though is really cool. He takes another arrow. Which is awesome because the Mystics, if you don't remember, they have 4 arms. So he just has like a bow, takes an arrow, he shoots it up, and the arrow lands right in front of Aughra. And Aughra's like, she looks around, he disappears, she's like yelling like, "Oh, how dare you! How am I supposed to listen to this song?" Oh, I get it.
No, at first she's like, and then she picks it up and she's like, didn't really need the walk though. Like,
I love her so much in this series.
Aughra's pretty good.
I liked Aughra in the film, but I love her so much in the show because she's just like she's like, do you really made me have to walk all the way to the stupid tree to talk to you, Archer? Seriously?
Yeah, I liked Aughra so much in the film because she's like helpful, but not really. She's like an exposition machine, but she doesn't like point you in the right direction ever. Anyway. That's the movie. She's doing great here. Let's jump over to the Skeksis. The Skeksis.
Yeah. Their Skeksis are having a banquet for the return of one of their own, who I don't believe we've seen before.
No, we had not. Not on the show.
Yeah. So
the most feminine of them.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Okay. So obviously the Skeksis are trying to cheat death, and the Emperor, they're all eating, they're stuffing their faces, they're talking amongst themselves, the General's saying some words, the Chamberlain's saying some words, but the Emperor is drowning all this out. He is staring at his finger, and he pulls his nail, he's like messing with his nail a little bit, his claw, starts to ooze pus, and then finally it just comes clean off, and it like fades into dust.
Meanwhile, what is happening is the Chamberlain and the General are arguing about what's the better way to get information out of Rian's friend.
Yep.
And what's the better way to move forward with their plans.
Exactly. Yeah. So the Emperor just yells, "Enough! I've had it. General, you're my right hand. Chamberlain, you're out. Sit on the other side of the room. Or sit on the other side of the table."
And he's like, but sir, I've done all these things, and it's like, yes, but actions are not happening. I'm actually going to read from what it is because I think it's really funny to read it this way. So here's what happens: the Skeksis banquet in honor of Skek X, return turns sour when Skek'So replaces Skek'Sil as his advisor with Skek'Var. This leads Skek'Sil to summon Skek'Mal, the hunter, to retrieve Rian. As Skek'Var and Skek'So leave to recruit volunteers from the Gelfling tribe. Anyway, so the point being here, there's a lot of Skeks.
Yeah.
Because the Chamberlain has been dismissed like that, he goes and blows this wicked horn.
Oh, this rad horn.
Radical horn.
Oh my gosh. It's
to like summon the coolest character in the show.
Horn, you see this horn and you're like, oh, that's a horn to summon a bad dude.
Yeah, to summon this show's equivalent of if Boba Fett and General Grievous were one character.
Oh my god, yes!
And so...
Oh man, he is so
And so Boba Grievous shows up.
I love all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say before Boba Grievous... Just gonna stamp that right there.
Yeah.
Before Boba Grievous, the general goes to Rian's friend. He goes to the scientist.
His real name is actually pretty good. Skek'Mal.
Skek'Mal. He goes to the scientist and pulls Rian's Gelfling friend and puts him in front of the crystal and try to drains him. Because the scientist is like, hey, the machine's fixed.
The general does.
Yeah, the general does this. And the scientist is like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just trying to get information. And he's like draining, or he's like inflicting pain upon him. Somehow the crystal is involved. There's some really weird stuff, and obviously he's trying to get information. And then the Emperor comes in and says, enough. We're not going to do it this way. He talks to the scientist and is like, hey, how's progress on your machine? He's like, oh no, the machine's fixed. We're done. He unveils the curtain and is like, hey, this is what we can use this to get essence. We're good. We're fine. And the Emperor goes, okay. How many Gelfling do you think we need? What? How many Gelfling do you think we need to, cheat death for all time? Eternal? I don't know. How many? Give me a number. 50? From each clan. Cool, let's do this thing.
Yeah. So Skek'Sil, the Chamberlain, had summoned the Hunter.
Yeah.
And who doesn't live with the rest of them. And they're all kind of afraid of him.
You wonder why, because when you see him the first time, he has a bone mask. I would be freaked out if someone showed up wearing a mask made out of bone of something he killed. It's like, don't F with me.
It's a Skek'Si skull, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think he's wearing the skull of another Skek'Si.
Well, shit, I wouldn't want to fuck with him either.
Right, exactly.
Excuse my language, but I wouldn't want to mess with him.
Now I gotta bleep you.
Sorry.
It's okay. So... I'm not gonna remember. Note, I didn't remember. So Jeez. It's fine. It was one. Skek'Sil had summoned him, and the general makes note of it when the horn goes off, and they're like, why would he call the hunter? All the others are like, I don't want the hunter here. Why would he call the hunter?
They're all freaking out.
And the general's like, it's obvious because he needs the hunter to capture Rian, because if he does that, then he'll have taken action and he'll get his power back. Or the general doesn't want that, but he's not going to get in the way of Skek'Mal.
No.
Once he's been brought in. No. Nobody else wants to talk to him.
No one wants to mess with this guy.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident the implication is that he's wearing a Skek'Si skull.
Okay. He might.
It's shaped exactly to their faces.
I have no idea. He just looks creepy cool.
I mean, yeah, it's awesome. So Skek'Mal shows up, and he's like, what? And the Skek'Sil sends him after Rian.
Oh, he towers over the rest of them.
Yeah.
He towers over the Skek'Sil, right? The Chamberlain?
Yeah,
he towers over him. He's like, and who is his voice? I'm sorry. But
it's okay.
But he has this rad voice, and it's deep. It's Boba Grievous. He is literally Boba Grievous, and he is talking to the Chamberlain. He's like, oh, find the Gelfling. He's like, you dare summon me while I'm out on a hunt? This prey better be worth it, Chamberlain. And he is just so cool. So cool.
Ralph Ineson.
Ralph Ineson. Do we know him? Or of him?
We've definitely seen him in things. I'll run through some of his most famous roles. He's Dagmar Cleftjaw in Game of Thrones. He's Amicus Caro in the last 3 Harry Potter films, and Colonel Ansiv Garmuth in Star Wars The Last Jedi. So we've definitely seen him a bunch.
Is he the werewolf in the Harry Potter film?
That's his picture.
Oh! Okay.
No, last 3 Harry Potter films.
Oh!
He's not him.
Okay.
No.
Well, he has a great voice for this character, for the hunter, and he does. Badass. Did you know what Ryan wanted to say about the Hunter?
Yeah, that he's great.
Okay.
Frankly, that he's Ryan's favorite character so far on the show. This is Ryan's favorite episode of the show so far,
Okay.
and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Hunter was introduced, and he's like, well, shit. This just got really good.
Yeah, it did.
Not that it wasn't good before, but all of a sudden, like, this is not what either of us were expecting to happen on the show, was a character like this being introduced.
Oh, no.
The Hunter threw everything into, like, a whole new level of, like, oh, the show's gonna do stuff like this. And back to your point about, like, him towering over them, I don't know so much if he is actually taller than them as much as he stands up straight while they slunch.
Yeah.
Because he's, like, obviously
He's out
100% more physically capable than them.
I'm pretty sure he could just wipe them all out
The
if he
whole
wanted
sequence
to.
that we get to later where he's running around the trees and everything.
Oh my
I'm
god,
like,
he's jumping from tree to tree like freaking Tarzan.
I turned to Ryan and I'm like, if all the Skeksis were like this, I'd be terrified of them. Like, 100%.
Like, already the Skeksis look creepy, but they look creepy in a ancient necromancer wizard sort of way.
But they're the equivalent of, like, fat and bloated power in most cases.
Yeah. Like, look at that one dude who's always thinking about food all the time. It's like, oh yeah, he's
100%. But I mean, to some extent, all of them are kind of blubbery. Even the general.
Oh yeah.
Even the Emperor. They're all kind of like very. And part of it is that, like, you know, they've let their age get to them.
Yeah.
But the Hunter, no.
The Hunter is out there hunting.
Is spry.
He is ready for a fight.
I wonder. Minor spoilers for the Dark Crystal movie if you don't know. So, like, jump ahead 2 minutes, I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Maybe just a minute from this point. Okay. I wonder, because we know that the Mystics and the Skeksis are connected.
Yeah.
I wonder if his Mystic is just as spry.
Ooh.
Right?
Or his Mystic is the Archer.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That
wouldn't
would.
it?
That
Since
would.
they were both
because
they both have those monikers, and they were both
Yeah.
introduced in this episode. That would make sense.
I mean, it's just because I was thinking about this too. Because obviously, when we see a Skeksis die in the film, a Mystic would just fade away, or when one gets wounded, the other gets hurt.
Right.
But that is very interesting. I would. My theory is that the Hunter and the
I mean,
Archer
I don't know how like I don't know like how much that really translates over, because like we have fat Skeksis but not fat Mystics.
Very true. I think it's like straight physical harm, maybe not lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's weird because obviously in the film when the Chamberlain got cut on his hand, his Mystic got cut on his hand as well. So I want to say.
Go on.
You got this, buddy. I want to say that they're connected in a way of great physical harm, not physical appearance. They're connected. Like, one could be fat and bloated, the other can just be like, whatever, that's not going to affect them. But if one loses an arm, the other's going to lose an arm.
More than anything, I don't think it'd be like, oh, the Mystic would be that because of that.
Yeah.
But just like, what if one of the Mystics was that dedicated too?
That would be rad.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, of course, we still have a few more episodes to go through.
Again, the Archer's pretty dope.
Yeah, this is only episode 4, and we still have a lot more of show to go through, so we have no idea.
So, yeah, the Hunter's incredibly cool.
He is.
We get to Rianne.
Yeah.
Arriving in this, like, podling tavern.
Yeah.
Kind of setup, and... Ryan said that this was very much like, this is just the Ewok party with podlings. And,
Pretty much.
And I agree.
These podlings are having a good time.
Podlings know how to party.
Yes, they do. I want to get invited to one of those parties.
I want a podling party.
So do I.
So, Rianne comes across...
Hashtag podling party.
Rianne comes across 2 totally new characters.
Yeah, we haven't seen these characters. We haven't seen these characters before. They don't come from Storm the Wood, do they? I don't think they...
They are Gurjin, his best friend Gurjin's sister,
Yep,
Naya, and Kylan.
Yeah, Gurjin, she is from the clan his best friend is from.
Right.
So she obviously is like, she wants to get him to find out what happened to her brother.
Is it a different clan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can tell that she has like dreads and horns a little bit on her forehead. Like, her forehead's different color. Like, all the different Gelflings have different colors. Like, Deet is a little more greener.
No, I know that one.
So, like, Gurjin, you can tell, like, it's, like, right here on the top of the head. Mm-hmm. There's, like, the color is different, and that's from a different clan. At least I think so. I could be wrong.
Nobody said that, though. right? Nobody said Gurjin and Naya are a different clan. I don't think that's ever been stated.
I don't think so.
Not like what clan they are or anything like that.
Right.
Okay, so for now we don't know 100% that that's a fact.
True.
Okay,
true.
that's all I wanted to know.
Once again, I could be wrong.
I'm not saying that like it's
yeah.
100% wrong. I just don't think like she said for this clan blah blah whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Naya is there because she believes that Rian is a murderer and probably got Gurjin too.
Yeah.
Or is the reason Gurjin got killed by something else.
But Gurjin's his friend's not dead yet.
Correct.
Right.
But they don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know that. And then this is when Trey starts with a T. Tavra, thank you. This is when Tavra shows up.
So no, she doesn't show up until he says, "I want you to dream fast with me." And they're like, "So your madness can spread?" And then Tavra's been listening. And Tavra's like, "I believe that I will be taking this bounty." And they're like, "Over my dead, blah blah blah." And he's like, "You've got to dream fast with me." And Tavra says, "My Madra would like to know the whole story."
Yeah.
And so they're all willing to take the risk to dream fast with him.
I want to say
find out what's up.
The other companion, the other one, the
Thailand.
soft, yeah, he's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do it." And then she's Gurjin's like, "Wait, what? No, we shouldn't." He's like, "Hey, I want to find out what happens. If we go crazy, we go crazy. But if not, we're fine."
Right. And then Rian's father,
after they connected,
they've connected and they've started dream fasting.
Yep.
Rian's father walks in.
Yep.
And wordlessly decides
to dream fast.
I'm going to dream fast as well,
which is so
awesome.
It's so cool, and also just huge props to the puppeteers of the show, because even though with the Gelflings, their facial expressions
are limited.
They're very limited. Like we could tell the facial expressions of Aughra.
They can do a lot more than they did in the movie, though.
Oh yes, but even when Rian's dad starts walking up, you can tell he's been conflicted ever since Stonewood, ever since the incident there, and he sees them dream fasting with his son, the three newcomers, and he goes, "I'm going to do this." He puts his hand on him he puts his hand up, sees everything, and then when they come to, Rian sees his dad and goes, "How much did you see?" He's like, "I saw everything."
So he's been crying, and he's at first just looking at Tavra and the others, and they're all like, "Oh my god, this is a thing. The Skeksis are bad."
Effed.
And while they were dream fasting, a symbol burned into the table.
Yes. Oh god,
appeared.
I completely forgot about you.
Right. Yeah.
They dream etched or is something
dream etching.
Yeah, dream etching. They dream etched the symbol that Brea's trying to figure out what it means.
And Tavra's like, "I've seen that symbol."
Oh, great. Oh, fantasy mystic
so good
stuff.
Anyway, while that happened, they come out of that, and then, he's crying, and he looks over, and so is his father, and he's like, "You saw?" And he's like, "Yes, everything." And he's like, this can't go on to pass. We have to let people know.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little mini fellowship has been formed.
Yeah, essentially.
And so Naya wants to go find Gurjin, her brother, still.
Oh,
and
okay.
She says that, and so Tevra says, "I'm gonna go with you."
All right, yeah. I'm still iffy with names.
No, this was very like we don't follow them out of the room in this one.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is where the next episode's going with them. But like we didn't follow them, but what happens is that Naya says, "I want also to let people know, but I need to go find my brother."
Yeah.
And Kylan's going with her, her friend there, and then Tevra's like, I will also join you on this journey. Meanwhile, Rian and his father are going to try and go and convince more people.
Yeah.
But on the way, a certain Skek Mal comes upon them, and the hunter chases Rian and his father through the woods, which leads them past Deet and Hup, who decide that they need to try and help if they can.
Yeah, they're still on their way to Harar.
But they can't. Because the hunter is too cool and is totally General Grievous and pulls out all 4 of his arms.
I didn't know Skeksis had 4 arms. Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, that was pretty clear in the movie.
Went over my head. Shit.
I mean, it's not like we saw them with the 4 arms all the time, but like they're modeled to be parallel to the Mystics.
It went right over my head. I didn't.
This
was the first time I saw.
It didn't surprise me. I'm not saying that the 4 arms showed up in the movie necessarily, because I can't necessarily picture that. I always kind of imagined that they did.
Uh-huh.
So it didn't surprise me when he had the extra arms.
Yeah.
It was very funny because Ryan was saying how General Grievous he was, and then
Yeah. And then the other two arms show up. It's like,
Yeah.
you're effing General Grievous.
yeah, and then in a maybe kind of telegraphed a little more than I wanted to moment, Rian's father.
Oh yeah. Well,
attempts to sacrifice.
we
himself.
see the gobbles again, and I'm instantly
the gobblers.
thinking,
They finally pay off.
Yeah, we see the gobblers, and I'm thinking, okay, his dad is gonna die this episode.
Right.
He's gotta sacrifice himself. The hunter's
Because he
gonna...
finally learned,
Yeah.
and he could validate his story.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it's the typical. It's the thing you see from a mile away that's gonna happen.
Which is an important reminder that on some level we are watching a long-running tragedy.
Yeah.
Because
We all know the Gelflings are gonna die.
The Gelflings will lose.
Yeah.
And the Skeksis will win.
Mm-hmm. Until the movie.
Until the movie. Until the end of the story. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but here's the thing that got me, though, was obviously the tragedy happens with the dad dying, and then the hunters and the gobblers, and you're thinking, okay, both are dead. Like, obviously the dad's gonna die, you can see him...
No, this got me too.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Deet is talking with Rian, the hunter pops out of nowhere, grabs Rian, and runs through the trees, totally fine.
Not totally fine. He's a little you can
little...
see like pieces are nicked up.
Oh, I missed that part.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's moving in a blur, but there's a moment where he like pauses on the tree when he's holding Rian, and I was just looking for like the shreds, and yeah, he's not unscathed,
but because
he was on the back as he was going in, holding and saying like, "You're coming with me." To Rian's father.
Like, just like a grave. If I'm gonna die, you're gonna die with me. Then he just somehow ditches his dad, grabs Rian, runs. Deet is shouting
up into the trees. Deet's like, "Hup, we gotta go find him," and that's where the episode ends. I don't think you've ever seen Jeepers Creepers, but it was such an end of Jeepers Creepers.
I saw Jeepers Creepers too. I saw the second one.
That's
the one with the bus, right? The kids, the high school kids.
Uh-huh,
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
Them too.
You should watch the first one sometime.
So I've been told.
It's a little more slower pace, but that kind of works.
Okay.
You kind of get it then, but like I'm specifically referring to the very end of Jeepers Creepers. Is there's this kind of like lull of silence where you think it's gonna go one way, and then it's like, whoop, nope, and there goes the creeper, and you're like, dang,
it's like surprise, mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah, exactly. You got your one.
Yeah, because was not expecting, because I was when he fell into the gobblers, I was like, man, that was a cool villain, but I wish we had more of him.
Ryan and I were in the same place where we're like, oh,
you introduced this
cool. This
great guy, and he's a one and doneer. Man, I just don't think that's a bummer. But no one can get out of the gobblers. Surprise! Yes, he freaking can. Suck it.
What can't Skekball do?
I don't know. But he was just so rad. That whole fight scene between him and Rian, or even the great moment when he's talking to his dad, he's like, "Hey, Dad, remember when we used to catch this? Oh, just like the old days." And you're thinking they're gonna get out alive, but they don't. Well, his dad doesn't, unfortunately. But
and now his skull is cracked.
Yeah,
on
there's
side.
a part of it that is revealing his face, and it's just so. Is that what I think that is?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, let me see this.
There is a Hunter Funko Pop for this character, and I'm definitely gonna get it.
When do these come out?
I don't know. I just saw an image promoting it earlier today, and I'm like, oh man, I'm getting the Hunter.
No, you're not the only one. I need that too.
Yeah, I know.
I get two. I'll pay you back later.
It's so good.
That is rad.
Yeah, they have a metallic variant and everything. Anyway,
yeah, the Hunter's
so cool.
You know what? I think the Hunter's my favorite character. He's definitely my favorite.
He's definitely Ryan's favorite character.
Because I know we all have a love of the Chamberlain because he goes, I mean, he did that a few times. Like, he's like,
The Chamberlain won me really hard with his argument to Gurjin.
Okay.
That was a really good scene.
That was
a really good
scene.
moment for the Chamberlain where he's just like, look, if Skeksis do this to Skeksis, what do you think they're going to do to a little Gelfling?
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, man.
That's messed up.
That's so dark, but so true.
I love the scientist, partially because I'm biased and I'm a huge Mark Hamill.
And you like Mark Hamill.
I love Mark Hamill, yeah. But I really like Jason Isaacs as the Emperor.
I do too. I think the Emperor is awesome.
Yeah. That's Lucius Malfoy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucius Malfoy. But the Hunter,
I like all the Skeksis, honestly. Yeah. They're all really unique and cool.
I like the Emperor, the Chamberlain, and the Scientist, obviously. But the Hunter is like, ooh,
yeah,
he's up there. And I've only seen him in one episode. I can't wait to see him again.
That's character design selling character.
Oh, that is definitely. But like you said, Boba Grievous.
Yeah,
he is freaking Boba Grievous. You coined that. Grievous. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, he essentially is. So yeah, that's where we leave off. Until we pick up the next 2 episodes.
Oh, man.
A lot of this in comparison to episode 3, episode 4 was a lot of good intense stuff.
Oh yeah. There was the
really fun stuff like the Aughra with the arrows and the archer. But
the Podling party
you've got the introduction of lore, which is so cool. Yep.
I love
all of that was in episode 4. They introduced 2 of my favorite things so far in the series in episode 4, and it's lore and the Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, episode 4 is the episode where everything gets nuts.
You're right. Episode 3 was the table setting, which wasn't a bad thing. It kind of fleshed out a few things for us, which was great, like how Gelflings are racist to other Gelflings, and
it's definitely one of the few times where I was like, I'm glad this isn't a week-to-week thing.
Yeah.
Because I would not feel satisfied with just this episode.
Yeah.
But as a part of a larger whole, I'm fine with it.
I mean, like the ending for episode 3, when Brad goes down into the secret passageway, that got me thinking, are we going to a dungeon? What are we going to find down there? That made me want to watch the next episode. And obviously with the introduction of the Hunter, with the Emperor yelling at the scientists like, hey, we need a log Gelfling. Look at my finger. I'm wasting away already. Aughra talking to the Mystic like, hey, how can I listen to Thra again?
Right.
All this stuff just pays off. And then we get that ending of the Hunter taking Rian away in the trees, presumably back to the Crystal Castle. It's like, oh, shit just hit the fan, and it is not pretty, my friends.
Yeah. So with that in mind, we're very excited to continue. So we'll see you on the next episode of this for episodes 5 and 6. Obviously, we are part of the Fake Nerd Podcast. You can check us out wherever you listen to podcasts. We're putting that out all the time, every week. There's also a whole bunch of stuff here on our YouTube. There's these Basement Arcade games, mostly where Ben and Ryan have been playing some stuff, although because we're about to hit October right now, there's going to be a whole bunch of October special Basement Arcade stuff that's about to be dropping.
Definitely.
And Ryan was here earlier.
Yeah.
You can find him at DJ Tony Snark on everything.
And when he says everything, he means everything.
Yes, he means everything. Ben?
You can find me on the internet at BenMagnet27, pretty much on Instagram and Twitter. That's where I am most of the time.
And I'm Sparkz Witty. You can find me at Sparkz Witty on Instagram, SPARKZ Witty. We will be back within a week with episodes 5 and 6 of the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. If you're waiting to see some of our other Fake Nerds watch stuff, we've definitely got Swamp Thing and Game of Thrones on the back burner if you're interested in those shows and you watch them or you want to.
Or if you want a quick one and done episode, we have Stranger Things and
we discussed Stranger Things Season 3 and The Boys Season 1. And we have a lot of our backlog and review of Dark Crystal, the film, is up on here. And in a few weeks, we'll also, while we're finishing up Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, beginning to put out our Watchmen Fake Nerd Watch. So be prepared for that as well. Keep a watch out for it. All right, that'll do it. Have an excellent week. Stay fake nerds.